I feel that as leaders, it is time for us to truly awaken and allow our wild, wise woman to lead. So that's what I'm going to be diving in today. And you may have heard me speak before around the different lunar archetypes. These lunar archetypes that live within our womb. So as women who bleed, we have these different archetypal energies that we are moving through all the time, every day, every week. We are a changing woman. And it is really essential for us, all of us here as leaders, to understand the shadow aspects that show up in these different times and to understand the gifts. And so I've spoken before about all of the different archetypes that we move through. And for those of you that no longer bleed, you are in the beautiful rite of passage that is menopause, sacred pause, the crone, also known as the queen. And I myself am moving through that portal of perimenopause, and my womb definitely has been taking me on a journey. I am coming out of a 2-year sabbatical where I really had to listen and embody that which I teach, which is honoring the womb and her voice, her wisdom. And when we are pushing all the time, which, in this culture of achieving and pushing and success, and very much led by the patriarchy and this energy of pushing, which is not the feminine way. We are in this time of needing to create that balance. And I truly believe that in order to create the balance, we have to really come forward with some force, with activating this very misunderstood archetype that is the wild woman. I like to call her the wild, wise woman, because as we as women come into this actual life cycle, like when you are bleeding, the wild woman is that time before you bleed. It is the time of the waning moon, so it's getting dark and the shadow aspects are coming up, and these parts of our story and ourself are coming up to the surface for us to look at and to integrate those and to bring them through into our life. And if you are like me in this life cycle, this part where we're actually coming to the close of our bleeding years, so we're coming into these wisdom years, but there's also this wild primal archetype that lives within us. And what would happen if you actually let her lead? Just take that in for a moment. What would happen if you let her lead? And if you're here with me or watching the replay, just, drop in the chat. What do you think would happen if you let your wild, wise woman lead? What would happen if you pulled down your hair, if you took off the masks of how you think you should be, if you let go of the people pleasing, if you let go of the programs and you pulled out your sword and you recognize that so many of these stories and the inner critic that is going on within your head all the time of, oh, who am I to say this, or I need to tone this down, or I don't know, was I too much, or how was this, or am I too much? All of these voices, it is time to fucking put those into the fire, excuse my French, but to put those into the fire of transmutation, because those voices are getting in the way of you fully being in your full expression and becoming fully visible in your medicine. And when we can allow a wild, wise woman to lead, we actually don't need to give a fuck about what other people think. Because how much of your life have you spent worrying about, feeling that fear of, well, what if somebody I know sees me doing this? Or what if they think I'm too much? Or what if I lose friends? Or what if? But are you going to let those ifs get in the way of you living in your full service, living in your purpose? The wild, wise woman is fully integrated in her shadow, in her power. She is accessing this primal power, the one that we hold and embody as women to birth children into this world, but also to birth ourselves, to birth our projects, to birth our work, to birth movements. We need this same primal power, this unshakable, unstoppable primal power in order to birth a new paradigm. In order to birth a new paradigm together, we must harness and access and allow this primal power that lives within us to be unleashed. So just breathing into that for a moment. When did you last feel this primal power that is so sensual? Where you just dance for yourself and you touch yourself and you feel connected to your precious life force energy and to your body. You feel alive and radiant and magnetic. Like, this is how we can lead as feminine leaders, is when we are turned on to life, to our mission. And we're feeling that sexual creative energy and power flowing through our temple bodies, from our root all the way through our whole central core, accessing our root to our throat, so that we can unleash our voices, our magnetic voices, so that our voices are coming from deep in our root, from the source of our power. So our throat and our voice is connected to the root source of our power. Feel that for a moment. Ooh, just feel the connection of your jaw with your pelvis. I mean, how many of you have given birth, and you must open your jaw, open your mouth, stick out your tongue, make sound, get primal in order to give birth. We need the same energy in our lives as leaders, especially pioneering a new evolutionary path of what it means to be embodied feminine leaders at this time. We are modeling a new way where we're connected to our own inner vitality and radiance. And that only comes when we are deeply listening. When we are deeply listening to our innate wisdom, living within our wombs, living within ourselves, living within our deep spiritual knowing. I know many of you that are here because you are spiritual leaders. What would it look like to integrate your spiritual power with your sexual creative power? Imagine that for a moment. Because, sisters, they are not separate. Our spiritual, our sexual, and our creative powers all come from the same source. And so when we are truly plugged in and turned on, and our channels are open, and we're bringing through the medicine that we are here to bring through, then we are leading as wild, wise women, free, liberated, carving our own unique path. What is it that you truly desire? Drop it in the chat. What is it that you truly desire? How do you desire to feel in your body as you are leading your life, as you are showing up as a leader, as a speaker, as a thought leader, a healer, a visionary? How do you desire to feel? Feel that in your body. And taking one hand on your root, feeling your beautiful root, your seat of your being, the source of your power, and just pulsate. Imagine you have a beautiful lotus flower in your root, and just begin to pull the petals of your lotus flower up, activating your root, your source of your power, and bring that beautiful energy up into your womb space. Even if you don't have a physical womb anymore, you still have an energetic womb. If you were born with a womb, you still have an energetic womb that literally is designed to gestate and create and give birth to life. So what is it that you want to give birth to in your life? How do you want to feel? Feel that desire. Feel that desire. And pulsing and breathing, pulsing that beautiful lotus flower and bringing that beautiful energy from the root of your power into your womb space. And just allow your voice to get low. The wild, wise woman within you is ready to make sound, to be unleashed, unhinged, undomesticated. Feel that. What does she desire inside of you? Feel that in your temple, in your body. As you pulse the petals of your lotus flower. Yes, feeling the root of your own power. Beautiful. And just drop a heart in the comments if you are with me here now, if you are feeling this, if you are connected to your root and you understand the importance of being connected in your body, being fully present here now, because sisters, your presence is actually your purpose. And when we can come into our full presence, into the wisdom, into the wild mystery that lives within us, then that is our purpose. And to come from that place, to share from that place, is what you are here to bring forth at this time. This is a new way of showing up as a feminine leader. To be fully activated in your sexual creative energy, to feel pleasure, to feel your power, to feel your purpose as your presence. To let go of all of the shoulds. What do you need to let go of? Just allow yourself to shake out a little bit here. What do you desire to let go of? Or what are you ready to let go of? Or what do you want to let go of here now? We must call forth the primal power to release and let go of control, the things that we're holding on to. Because if we can be willing to let go of everything, that is when true magic and mystery really come forth. And the wild, wise woman has definitely taught me to let go. And every month when we're bleeding, she guides us to let go, to bleed, to release what no longer serves. That is one of her gifts. And so how can you call her forth in your life as a leader to support you in letting go of control, of letting go of attachments, of letting go of relationships that no longer serve, of letting go of old paradigms and old programs, old ways of being that no longer serve you? Call her forth. Feel her power in your body. She is wild. She is not the pretty one. No, we have to be willing to let go of the pretty one, to let go of these masks. I remember the resistance that I had to let go of being the pretty one, to let go of being the perfect daughter, to let go of doing the right thing in order to let my wild, wise woman come forth. And what about for you? Are you ready to activate her within your own life? She's gonna shake shit up. So if you are ready to shake some shit up, what needs to be shooken up? What old programs and paradigms need to be shooken up? We see this right now happening in the world. There is so much of the old paradigm, the old programs that are being completely shooken up and challenged, and maybe are going to break and crumble down. So we have to be willing to allow everything we've built to crumble down and trust and know that everything is an expression of the divine, and that we can rise, that you can rise again and again in your power, in your pleasure, in your purpose. And it is a choice. It is a choice in how you show up. It is a choice in what you give your precious energy and attention to. Yes. And so tuning in, making contact with your temple body, with the wisdom that lives within, with this knowing, because this is where true confidence comes from. This is where unshakable courage comes from. This is where your magnetic voice comes from. And so as a leader, we want to lead from this fierce, embodied place, yes? Drop it in the chat. What are you desiring? How do you desire to feel and lead in your life? Drop it in the chat. What are you ready to activate? Drop it in the chat. How connected do you feel to your wild, wise woman? For me personally, as I shared briefly, I am coming out of this 2-year sabbatical where I did not lead my Temple Body Arts Mystery School. I listened to my womb that was screaming to me to stop. She was bleeding. She was bleeding for 3 weeks straight. And I was getting ready to go on tour and to do my launch and to bring new sisters into my mystery school. And I started bleeding and I didn't stop. And I went to the doctor and found out I had a huge polyp in my womb and I needed to have surgery right away. And I still wasn't going to stop, even after that surgery. And then I started bleeding again. And it was like, you must embody that which you teach. And there are different cycles that we move through. And this is the cycle of going within, going into the sacred dreamer, actually, going into the sacred dreamer and going into the pause, going into the winter. And that's what I did. And it was so scary. I had to be willing to let go of everything. I had to be willing to let go of everything I had built. I didn't know if I would come back, if Temple Body Arts would still be here, if the people that desired to work with me would still be here, but I had to trust and I had to surrender. And I remember I led a beautiful wild woman activation. I had over 1,000 women sign up for this free activation. And I guided this incredible journey and then basically said goodbye. I'm going on sabbatical. And it was one of the hardest things I've done. But we have to be willing to let the wild, wise woman lead and to be willing to let go of everything and to trust. And that's what I did. And for the last 2 years, I have been focusing on my health and my wealth and our land project and my retreat center. And I've done a couple of different retreats, but I've been waiting until I had that innate voice within me that said, you are ready. It is time. And that time is now, sisters. That time is now to rise. That time is now to come back and to call forth your wild, wise woman. Because I feel more wise through my perimenopause journey and researching and reading every book that I can get my hands on to understand what this means for us women when our entire brain rewires, when all of these different symptoms are happening. What does it actually mean? What is the wisdom here? And I have learned so much, and I know that I'm a voice. I'm a voice to guide women in knowing how to navigate this perimenopause, menopause journey with grace, with the tools, with the practices, with the trust. And so I am here now, and I am so excited to be offering once again a Wild Wise Woman activation. This activation is happening on the Beltane, which is May 1st. And I'm going to be guiding a 3-hour journey from my home here to all of you to support you in truly accessing this primal power that I'm speaking about, this voice, to come into your sacred why and what it is that you stand for, and knowing how to really be in your divine purpose, and to pull out your sword to say no to what no longer serves, so that you can truly live your fuck yes life. Are you ready for that? I want to invite you, and I'm going to drop it in the chat here. This is the link that you can sign up for this free activation. Actually, when you sign up, you will get a beautiful journey. It is a tantric dance journey to really integrate your spiritual, sexual, and creative channels, coming more into your divine purpose. So you will receive this the next day. So I invite you to join hundreds of women from around the globe, because it is time for us to rise. And as you know, we cannot do this alone. We are here to rise together, to remember, to reclaim our power, our voices, to remember why we are here, and to lead from this powerful place of the wild, wise woman. She is here to guide us back to the earth, back to our blood, back to the deepest knowing, living within our bones, in our womb, in our blood. We thank all those who walked before. We thank our ancestors and the lineage that we are carrying. And we say yes. We say yes to how we are being called to lead. You can have unshakable courage as well. Will you join us? I hope to dance with you soon, dear sisters. And please, I invite you to comment in here. I'm going to be popping back in and continuing in this conversation. Thank you for your presence. So much love, and hope to see you on May 1st for this beautiful Wild Wise Woman activation.